Hello, welcome to Gwent. Let's talk about rank systems. You guys said that ladder sucks now, it's slow and boring, there's no point. And what's up with all the bears? So, when it comes to ladder systems, it's a little bit subjective what players prefer. For example, fast versus slow. Like fast makes you climb to the point where you maybe belong, definitely faster, but it's gonna be less accurate. You're gonna be like going up and down a lot more. You might get to a rank that you might have not reached in a slower system, but you're also gonna hit lower lows as well. And the slow system is more accurate, but also like it can just feel like a grind. Like if you need to put in the time to do your thing instead of the skill, because players on the top of the ladder already played hundreds of games. I played over 500 games, and there is no one here who played less than 300 games. And that just really says something, and the season is nowhere near over. Also, they said that there will be like only a partial reset or something like that. And that's really a good thing, because you don't want a ladder system where everyone will start from scratch all the time. That's just a way for all the less experienced players to get murdered repeatedly, and all the more experienced players to just get bored and ultimately give up on the game, because especially with a slower rank system, it just takes way too long. And we have seasons. That's kind of cool. So I don't know how much they will like reduce our MMR, but we just have to see that. And it kind of brings up the rewards. But before we go to the rewards, something that needs to be talked about is the points, because the closer you get to the top, the closer your V rate is gonna get to 50%. When you're climbing up, you can have a pretty good V rate against less refined decks, or you just counter them. But when you get to the tippy top, it's gonna get close to 50%, because you're fighting against the best of the best. So these guys are no chumps. But many times, your V rate needs to be like spectacular just to like keep up. And we gotta get to the rewards later. So what is the realistic V rate here? Like I got a deck like here, like ranked 69. We got that. So you can go like 69. I have another deck here. You can go like 63. You got that. So like ideally well, the first one I actually had a lower sample size. So ideally you like, you know, like 2 out of 3 is maybe the most realistic you can get. And no one even has 2 out of 3. Like Life Coach doesn't have 2 out of 3. Like that 2 out of 3 is just like a lot. That is the best of the best decks. And maybe you're not playing the best of the best, like not all the time. And but this is not the main problem. So like the kind of points you can win and stand to lose for a match needs to be within the realistic V rate you can have, because in the fast system you often like face guys where you needed to have over 70% V rate just to have a maybe potentially climb up. And 70% V rate or 80% V rate is possible if you're just like crushing the field. But like many times you needed like over 80% V rate in the previous system, and or maybe even this system. I don't know. I seem to be better matched in this system a little bit, but it just takes way too long to climb up, and you just can't do it. Like in like, I don't know, in like a week, I don't know. It's like at least like 4 or 5 days. I managed to climb like only like 150 spots with like 69% V rate, and that's kind of troublesome, isn't it? Like, that's too slow. Anyway, we gotta talk about I believe the most important part is that you're not really compared against other players when we are talking about the rewards. You're compared against this arbitrary point. So I managed to reach 19, 4,000, whatever. And, but in order to get the next reward, which is what you want to get, you need to climb to 4,400. And the last reward is 4,800. But the thing is, and the season rewards are actually different, I actually qualify for this, like this one, like the 51,250. But, I don't have this one yet. I don't have the 21, but I do have this one. I do have the 51,250, but you don't have this one. The thing is, these arbitrary points are just pointless. I'm not even sure why we have these. The thing is, it should be just purely based on position, because now there's nowhere to climb. I can't climb up. Like, let's just talk about 4,800 at this point. We're gonna go back, leaderboard, check it out. Can you even climb up to 4,800 or even 4,400? I'm not really sure. I'm pretty sure that you can climb up to 4,400. The thing is, if I attempted to climb up to 4,800 at this point and had 100% view rate, it is impossible. It is impossible because you can only win points from players, and very soon you would at best get to like 4,400, and there would be no players who could give you points anymore. They would not give you points. You would stand to win 0 points and lose the maximum amount of points you can lose, or maybe even more than that. Maximum amount of points you can lose. But there would be no points to gain. There's nothing. Like, you can compete against other players, but this ranking points is kind of pointless. That's what I'm saying. That's not how it should be rewarded. It should be just purely based on other players, and it should be simply based on your highest position you reached on the ladder. Because, like, currently Petrified sits at the top, and like, what point he has right now is just to keep playing? Nothing. He has no reason to keep playing rank right now. If he tries winning, if he tries playing right now, he's only gonna lose. Like, there's nowhere else he can climb. He doesn't have the freedom to just, hey, I just want to play some ranked games. And he played a lot of ranked games, but he doesn't have the freedom to play them anymore if he wants to hold on to his top spot that he already earned. He already earned the top spot, and the argument can be made that, hey, like, whoever has the top spot at the end matters more. But I would argue that's definitely not the case, because reaching it at any point on the ladder, like any rank, is just as valid. Like, not the one who just like grinds the hardest at the end before the season ends. That is completely pointless in my mind. You can end up with a decent spot, but the top crucial spots when the season ends are kind of pointless. Like, who cares? And that's why I feel like mainly the rewards need to be looked at, and the ladder definitely needs to be like a little bit sped up. Like, you should get more points, in my opinion. The maximum amount of points you can win or lose need to be within a reasonable limit, or you need to be matched, and you need to be matched properly for that. Or even if you match improperly, you just can't expect like a top 1 guy to like have a 90% view rate against a top 250 guy. That's just not how it works. The top 250 guy is not a chump either. He kind of knows what he's doing. Most likely he's running the deck of the top 1 guy. That's how the ladder works. So that's it. These points are a little bit awkward. So as long as you can get them, there is like no point in this reward. Like, in the current system, no one will reach to 4,800 at no fault of their own, but they can actually reach these rewards. And the reward system needs to be a little bit looked at, and yeah, needs to be sped up a little bit. So it's not so bad. It's kind of fun if you like just ignore it and just like, hey, I'm just gonna climb up. Because if you ignore the rewards, you're actually more accurately matching against other players, but it takes an eternity to climb up. Even if you have a great deck and you're like playing like 2 hours a day, it takes forever to even get there. Like, you can have a good deck that beats the meta, and you still take like 2 weeks to get to the top. Like, that's kind of a problem. Okay, it's too slow. But tell me what you think. I think it needs to be faster. The points you can win or lose need to be within a reasonable limit, and also the rewards need to be based on relation to other players, not on this arbitrary, pointless ranking point. That's what I think about it. Tell me what you think, and see you guys next time.